much. It was a very, very dominant game. So if Gankstars feels like they can take this entire series in the same fashion, they're going to try to hide some cards for future games. So Kroll is generally a dangerous A-side pickup, though, for most teams. So Gwen coming through to really add to that early game. Adagio now being flexed down into the captain position.
I'm iffy on that Gwen just because I have not been impressed whatsoever from Iraqi Zoro on Gwen. He's played it a few times during the regular season. The win rate is sitting at about 16%.
Okay, not good. But Baron,
to the Halcyon Fold we go for some more Vainglory action.
All right, now what did we see from Gankstars in the previous matchup? A lot of early invade, a lot of early pressure. The Kroll really did feel very confident, and Xenotech taking it here on that last rotation when it came down to it. I mean, Iraqi Zoro, early game Gwen, that's a lot of augmented damage that is very supportive, but finding the same kind of level of target in game number 2 is not going to be there because it's going to be Grumpjaw. Grumpjaw is going to be, I feel at least, a lot more survivable than that Celeste and a lot more effective there as well.
Yeah, no, it makes it a lot more difficult for Xenotech to just remove someone instantly from the team fight. Of course, Tricky will be the target, but Tricky has those jump jets, and once overdriven, will have a great time escaping. Now, Justmen with this Lyra, a crucial pick to steal away from Rekt, and a crucial pick to keep Tricky alive as well.
I also believe that this round Xenotech would definitely be a little bit more tanky rather than damage-oriented because Iraqi should really have a lot of the glass cannon potential here for the team.
That's a minion candy on that wave just to make sure it hits the turret, and Gankstars are reacting to Team Secret. It's something that Team Secret struggled with the last game, was that they were constantly playing to Gankstars' tune. Now with a Baron it's harder to dictate early moves, but Grumpjaw can definitely be an early game threat that Gankstars have to be concerned about.
All right, so as life does really unfold here, we've vacated this side of the fold here from Gankstars. They did that first rotation. Looks like they're going to be more than happy to kind of go back up to lane, support out Iraqi. Xenotech by himself should be able to farm very easily, and you should not really be expecting a lot of invade out of a Grumpjaw this early on. And if Justman's missing there as well, you can really start punishing out Tricky, or at least attempt at any rate. Get some damage done. You got Rekt, you got Iraqi, and 3-4 minutes in, you're going to have that tension bow on top of things.
It's an important kind of point you made just recently, Forecourt, which is that if Gankstars were to take this second match, you don't feel that Team Secret have the mental fortitude to really come back. This is the first time that Tricky, Justman, and I'm the Doom have competed at a live championship, and this is their first game. They got that bye into the second day. They haven't had the chance yesterday to quibble some of those nerves against perhaps a more familiar opponent. That's got to be stacking up in their heads.
Yep, that's the point that Bacon brought up right there. It's just the nerves. You can really transform your play in the right setting, but it could also go negatively as well. You're in front of a lot of cameras, lights, actions. They're in your head. They're in your there's a lot of these voices that perhaps you're not used to if you're just chilling at home with your sandals and your pajamas, right? So these guys, it's really their attempt here to bring back momentum to their side, and I just don't believe if they can't do it here, then they're not going to do it in Game 3.
Well, Baron, definitely the EU popular pick. Play for that late game and just blow up people. Similarly, you've got that Gwen, very much early aggression that's going to have to come out of Gankstars. They really need to start making some aggressive moves, and we've got Xenotech now on a Cruel. Last game he played a weapon power build. This time he has forced into a CP-centric Storm Guard banner, picked up first item. Tricky's going aggressive onto Iraqi. That's a lot of damage down onto Iraqi, but Tricky has to be careful. Here comes Xenotech into the lane, and they're going to look to try and find first blood here if Tricky oversteps. Has to make sure that he doesn't overstep a mark. Justman going to face check the bush. There's the Cruel. They've spotted him out, and they will be able to safely deal with Xenotech.
Yeah, there's definitely a little bit of a difference when it comes to the crowd control factor. The last game compared to this game. I mean, Rekt's not really going to have a lot right now. Rakizaur's not level 6. Xenotech not level 6 there as well. So kind of posturing up in the top, that was fine, but there really wasn't going to be much that come out of it unless there was a fantastic misstep out of Team Secret. But we do got a fountain now here, Rekt. He's gotten into that first item. Iraqi Zero, 4 minutes come through. Jungle intensifies. He gets that tension bow. I would definitely expect to see a little bit more aggressive play from them, especially when the lane is empty like this. But once Xenotech gets into an aftershock, because I think that's where that will be, that could be a big difference.
Team Secret trying to find a fight. Xenotech going to run straight onto Tricky here. That's a lot of damage down onto Tricky, but he will be able to walk away alive. Fountain still held onto by Justman, just in case they want to re-engage. Araki, he's all by himself, and Tricky smells danger. That's going to be the Fountain down onto Tricky. Araki doesn't quite take enough damage yet because Tricky hasn't completed a tier 3 item, but he is going to dive forward once more. Fountain comes out from Red Tricky. He's been baited in, and it's going to be first blood for Araki. He gets away with it alive. Xenotech going to come in to try and find a second, but Justman not going to take it. In fact, I'm the Doom wants the kill. The kill he will have. That's going to be Xenotech falling a 1-for-1 in this fight.
A very important stun at the end there does relieve a lot of the pressure on top of Rekt. Raki coming back. He was off farming, picking up some health there from the Treants, but he's not going to be really able to clean up anything out in the fight. So 1-for-1 will remain as the smoke does kind of dissipate after that one. But hitting that level 6 kept Xeno alive just a little bit longer. Gets off that stun. That was a big factor for keeping Rekt very healthy in that one. So as you can see here from the replay, Rekt coming up, like Tricky had already dived Araki Zoro off to left at this side, but Tricky unfortunately just not as online as he wants to be. So Araki was able to bait that one through, and they were able to pick up the kill. Eventually Xeno did lose his life, but that bait, I mean, Tricky perhaps a little bit overestimating his ability here early on.
Yeah, he has enough damage, gold now to complete his Sorrow Blade, but without a tier 3 item to begin with, there's no way you take that fight against a Gwen. Just the early disparity between power of a Baron and Gwen is palpable. It is going to be a fight breaking out, it seems, here as they're looking to try and find Tricky. Gankstars, but Xenotech's taking a lot of damage. The Fountain to keep him alive, but Tricky, he has his Sorrow Blade. I'm the Doom dives in. That's going to be the stuff onto Xenotech, where they're going to spin him out. They've already taken him down. That's going to be a kill for Tricky. Looking for a double as Rekt cannot escape. An ace for Team Secret.
Doom coming down to a sliver of health by the end of it, but he was in the front. He did the damage. He took the damage. Very importantly there. Tricky coming out smelling real good on that one. And he had also just picked up that Sora Blade, and you can see that level 5 infusion. He insta-popped it, and they picked up those kills. Way too much clumping up from Gankstars there.
They get a turret, they get a gold mine, and the gold, it just slingshots in their favor. 2,000 for Team Secret. Proactive early game with a Baron means that they are overdriving the ability to get Tricky to the late game sooner.
And that's just going to be what Team Secret need, because if they can get like 2.5, 3 items at the 11 to 12 minute mark, you are going to be in a fantastic situation for this Baron. Now, we saw a Baron earlier today as well, went 3 item 2 defensive, but if Tricky can just pull off a few more of these plays, then I think they're going to have the confidence to really go all out offensive here with Tricky. He'll have the boots, he'll have the Aegis, but for red offensive, having I'm the Doom to peel, having Justman to peel, that could be a devastating combo for these guys.
Yeah, that's Aftershock now completed for I'm the Doom on this Grumpjaw. A huge power spike when he gets that first auto attack off after using his Hangry to get on top of someone. They are going to melt here. This next fight for Gankstars, they have to be very, very careful that they do not allow the Grumpjaw to get onto a key target.
Alright, so Gankstars 1 kill to 4. Very different if you take a snapshot of the previous game to this one. We did just pick up second item. Tricky went from not even having a tier 3 to winning a fight, getting a Sora Blade, an infusion, and that breaking point all online. I'm the Doom picked up into the 2 item. You don't quite see the same level here on Xenotech. It's almost like night and day right now with the comps, and this Crawl has just not been as effective.
Yeah, it's a CP utility Crawl, not as hard hitting, more about sticking to a target and making sure that they are useless. When you apply your passive on your B, the weakness stacks to then reduce the amount of damage that person can output, then the Baron pick in the late game becomes not as great as it could be because the damage is reduced. But if Xenotech's not able to stay on top of Tricky, if Xenotech's not able to tank up the damage, the immense amount of damage that's coming out of I'm the Doom CP Crew right now, then none of that matters. Iron Cannon's going to come down. Team Secret are looking for a fight here, and there's been a bit of a split. Xenotech going to charge forward, trying to get on Tricky, but a bright bullet stops him. Tricky dodges out that from Hell's Heart. They're looking for the kill to Xenotech, but I'm the Doom is going low. He falls. Gankstars, they're going going to try and turn the fight, and Tricky is forced under his turret. Xenotech has to be careful, but Team Secret realistically cannot re-engage this fight. A 2 versus 3, they would have to blow someone up, and they're going to attempt to do it, looking for a Rocky. Can Tricky get the damage? No, he cannot. A mistake from Team Secret, and they lose Tricky for it. Just Man left alive, but he will find the returner onto Xenotech.
All right, those Lyra curveballs at the end hitting hard do get themselves a kill out of it, but I'm the Doom melted really fast. I think he took the ace from Arakizaru, and then Rek followed that up with that versus Judgment, and he basically got locked up. He had nowhere to go, couldn't hit anything, went down. Tricky did look like he was able to return a lot of the damage. Again, kind of going in a bit far, looking for looking for the damage, but I'm the Doom finds the noms.
Rek's gonna be nommed. I'm not sure I'm the Doom who really has the damage, but he's going to continue chasing here. Not quite landing the stutter stepping, but here comes Justman for the movement speed. Fountain used, Tricky with the jump jets in, looking to take the fight, and Rekt will get dropped. I'm the Doom able to make a play, and now Xenotech, he's the one being focused down. Doom dives forward, and Doom finds the kill when it looks lost. Team Secret are found.
One team fight for another. Getting a sentry on that one. Probably going to get this gold mine down. Too sweet here on top of things, but Team Secret, like, I'm the Doom, 100% facilitated that, made it happen. Rekt was too far forward. He was looking for scouting, he was looking for vision, but that far forward, especially with I'm the Doom, he just created such a lull in time where Rekt couldn't retreat. And even then, you know, they finally find him here at the bush, right? But Rekt, again, like, he was slowed down enough. Tricky was able to catch up. Doom still on the front line, still getting these slows. The speed ups from Justman are enough for the double there on top of things.
And not only that, Arakizaru was out of energy the entirety of that engagement, which meant that he couldn't get involved. Yeah. There was no way for him to actually come in and try and turn that story for Gankstars. Now with the gold miner taken, they're progressing their gold lead by 3,000. An aftershock completed by Xenotech is just worlds apart in timing compared to I'm the Doom. He's on his tier 3 defense item, and Atlas, not only is it going to reduce the attack speed of Gwen, but maybe even more importantly, it's going to reduce the attack speed on Xenotech.
It's double Atlas if you look at Justman on top of things. Like, Xenotech still doesn't have it. Rekt still don't have it. If you need to Atlas anybody, it's going to be a Baron, and Baron picks up some crit to go with that red so far. He does have a tier 1 armor, but I'm really curious if that's going to evolve or if he's going to toss it later.
Yeah, we'll have to find out. I feel like 4 damage items will just put Tricky miles ahead. They're going for this turret here, looking to just hard commit. Jumps away, Rekt comes in, right forward, goes down, and an ion cannon ready to hit, but it's not going to hit on anything but the minion wave. This turret is low. This turret is dead. Team Secret find themselves even more gold.
All right, 7 kills up, but having those extra turrets in the bank has now made these guys 4,000 gold. That sentry is dead to rights. Not going to be even an attempted defense on that one. Finally, there we go, a tier 3 coming through. But again, you said worlds apart, right? I'm the Doom with the timings, and they've always been one step ahead of Xeno, and Xeno, unfortunately, 0-4. It's a 180 compared to that last matchup.
For anyone who watched yesterday's game's forecourt, they would have seen that Gankstars a lot of priority onto this Grumpjaw, and they just destroyed Tempo Storm with it. This Grumpjaw is going to be the key and the lock for this series. Both teams now have proven that they can play this hero to some great success, and it feels like coming into Game 3, no matter what the result is, Grumpjaw is going to be the center of the draft.
Yeah, it's if it's not that first ban potential, it's definitely going to be amongst the first pick, but Koshka has been the 2-for-2 ban from Team Secret. We saw Xenotech reckon on it earlier today, so who knows what we're going to be doing as they go back to the drafting board from this one. But we're setting up here for another fight. 13 minutes, not quite a crack in timing, but we are still looking for just a lot of positioning here. Team Secret are feeling very confident, very powerful. We've sold the armor from Tricky. He's looking for another monocle, and we got infusions across the board. Gankstars realize that. They say, we can't do anything about this right now. They have completely backed off.
Gwen's just not finding the damage necessary as we start moving towards a more late game stage for Tricky and his Baron. Once he gets that second Tyrant's Monocle online, then the crit that comes out of this Baron is going to be insane. They need to blow him up, and they're looking for an engage. Tricky gonna dive out, but a Rocky just gets destroyed immediately. They swallow up Xenotech, Tricky laying down the kills, a double for him, the rookie with the triple kill on this fold, and Team Secret gonna start pushing the base.
All right, we got a series on our hands now, Dowsy, but 400 damage at a time. Tricky just eliminating the competition. Iraqi Zoro that far forward, he was buddy-buddy with Xenotech on the engage, but we don't have armor for you right there. What are you doing that far forward? Just gets chunked out. The triple hit from Tricky, just taking him down. You saw the Swallow go up, and then Tricky just nothing left in the bank here from Gankstars. He's going to survive. He gets that triple, and he is now up 6-2 and 3, and you're going to be looking for his full build here in the next few minutes.
Yeah, that's just insane stuff. Aegis now completed for Tricky, which means that Xenotech is just not going to be a factor anymore. The reflex block, he can reflex it all. Team Secret, they're even starting up this Kraken. They put Tricky in the lane. Grumjaw can solo it. He can solo it very, very easily. One of the tankiest junglers, and they may just convince Gankstars that the Kraken is only now just being started, but in fact, it's at half HP. Gankstars, they realize that even if they wanted to contest the Kraken, they would be likely running to their deaths.
Justman has no contraption, but there are scores of scout traps out and about. He is still continuing to pick them up at a very rapid pace here on top of things. The vision game, the kills, the momentum, it is all shifting to Team Secret, and they might be able to bring this one forward. Rekt has a ton of armor, but he's so far forward.
Yeah, they were looking for the engage, but now they're turning. Xenotech gonna get swallowed up. Rekt is just getting destroyed. Here comes Xenotech, nom nom nom, and spat on out straight into Tricky. He's gonna get another triple kill here. Hello, Team Secret, we see you. Let's get the Kraken onto that main crystal.
The Baron is the secret of Team Secret, and with this Kraken coming forward, this is GG, my friend. Gankstars have taken a loss, and this is now putting us into a minimum 4-game series, and the consistency factor, it's going to be called into question again here. Do Gankstars have what it takes to bring it back after such a dominant game 1 and such a loss?